Alright guys, well we're back at it again. We're out on the Hudson River, and I know you're probably thinking, ew, gross, or why you out on the Hudson River? You know, the Hudson River is known for being polluted and having PCBs and stuff like that, and you know, we're out on the upper end of the Hudson, north of like Corinth. You know, this area of the river is, you know, pretty clean. It's pretty clear too. It's probably, I don't know, 5 feet of visibility or something like that. Current's not real strong. I've never fished up here before. You know, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already seeing a lot of grass in the water, and I think we're probably gonna hopefully try to get on a little bit of a smallmouth bite today, but we'll see what happens. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We're in between a couple of tournaments. I've got the next tournament is going to be out on the Hudson River and the Mohawk River, so I'm just going to do a little scouting and see what we can come across. But you know, Father's Day is coming up, so I just want to give a quick shout out to my dad. He got me into fishing, and you know, he's the reason why I do this stuff. So Dad, if you're watching this, I love you, and you know, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. So quick shout out to the dads out there. They're important. They're a big part of society and what keeps us going. So. Little smallmouth, get us started. First cast, just pitched over to this dock, and there's some current flowing through here, which I like. And it is that time of year where we should have some fry garters and stuff like that. I saw a bunch of minnows in the water over by the boat ramp. So we should have some fry garters. And there's probably some bass that are spawning too. Water temps here are 65, so. hell is that? Oh, broke me off. Is that a pike? Tied on a little mini max chatterbait. That didn't take long. How many more of those I have? Sorry, buddy. Ripped that a little hard. I feel like, we've been fishing and it seems like I don't know, we're on some muddy bank. This looks like a rocky bank and we picked that guy up. So maybe that's a sign. Oh. Oh, this isn't working. We gotta find some rock. That's what we have to do. Alright guys, well we gotta go find a new area. So far we've been fishing a lot of sand and mud bottom, lay downs, a little bit of grass, things of that nature, and I really haven't found any smallmouth, so we're gonna head upriver and see if we can find some hard bottoms. These smallmouth, they tend to relate to that hard structure, the hard bottom. I'm not familiar with this place at all, so we're in search mode right now, and we gotta try to see if we can land. Stick with me, and we'll see what we can come across. Alright, well we found an area that has some rock. I'm trying to drag a little Kitech football head around to see if we can get something to bite. It's been a struggle so far. The current is moving, I would say relatively quick. I mean, I've got to keep the trolling motor going just to stay in, just to kind of hold our position here. Current's probably dragging me downstream at about a mile an hour, maybe a little bit more. So the bites have been few and far between so far. I would not say that river fishing is my strength, but it is something that I do enjoy a lot. It's a challenge, and it's always different. The river's always changing, so it's always a new experience. You're always learning something. One. Certainly not the size that we're looking for, but we found one. Oh, come on. This is the best fish that we've had all day. Well, we're just trolling along, graphing the bottom, and we came across this little guy. He's probably about 10 inches or so. I just, I'm not seeing anything that looks too fishy. It seems like there's just a lot of dead water out here. Pretty fish. Very pretty fish. We're coming up on a stretch of river here in a minute that I'm hoping is productive. There's a little bend in the river here which is going to create some current and some cuts in the bank and stuff like that. Up to this point, since we've launched, this river has been mostly straight. I can already see up ahead there's the river is bending to the left of the camera or to the west, and I can already see that on that bank it's very shallow and sandy, which makes sense because typically on the rivers the water will cut out the outside bank, so that side of the river is going to be deeper than this side. So I'm hoping that in this bend we can try to find a ledge on that side that we can catch a jig on, or maybe something moving like a chatterbait or a square bill, maybe an underspin or something on this side of the river. So we'll see what we find out here. This is kind of an area that I was hoping that would produce. So beyond that, we're going to head a little further up. There's two rivers that connect up here, and that's usually a pretty good, that could be a pretty good spot too. This could get a little dicey. We're going to get up on plane on the way back. Oh. They're pretty, but not what we are looking for. All right, guys, we're calling it a day. I fished out there for like 6 or 7 hours, and I came up with barely anything. Few fish, all small. You'll understand what I'm about to say if you've been fishing for a while, but sometimes you have a day on the water where you just want to sell all of your stuff and find another hobby. Obviously I love fishing. This is what I do, but it's just it was tough out there today, and I really don't know what to make of it. I threw a lot of different baits. I threw a drop shot, I threw a Ned rig, I threw a wacky worm, I threw a heavy finesse jig, I threw a little Kitech football head jig, I threw a crankbait, I threw a little paddle tail underspin. I threw everything and anything that I could think of, and we couldn't find them. On top of that, it was tough because the current is, the further upstream that you get, the current gets stronger and stronger, and I don't necessarily mind that. That's why I got the foot steering, is to help control the boat in current and in moving water, wind, things like that. But that was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was talking to the girl at the boat ramp, I don't know if it's the DEC or if it's one of the local colleges that puts students at the boat ramps to do the aquatic invasive species checks of the boats that are coming in and out. And I asked her if they get a lot of fishing up here. We're on the upper reaches of the Hudson River where it connects to the Sacandaga, and she said that they don't have a lot of fishermen here because there's not a good population of fish. She said that there's a lack of calcium in the water, which leads to less crayfish and that sort of thing that would sustain a healthy bass population. Not sure if that's true or not. It's beautiful up here. I wish that wasn't the case, because I would come up here a lot. This is my first time coming here, and the scenery is great, and it was just a struggle today. So probably gonna try maybe the Mohawk or something next. I gotta try to get another trip in before our next Adirondack KBF event. Keep your eye out for that one, and I'll catch you on the next one.